Welcome back to Google Tutorials with the marvelous Miss Honey. Today we're going to be talking about Google Drive and Google Docs. So let's get started. We're first going to go ahead and talk about some Google Drive. And Google Drive is your catch-all for all of your storage needs. No longer do you need thumb drives, USB drives, or portable hard drives. You can store it all in one place. So I'm going to show you just a couple of things here in Google Drive that'll make some organization a little bit easier and give you just a little bit of a tour around Google Drive. So when you pop up into Google Drive, what you're going to see first is going to be the things that you open most. And I've been working on doing rosters lately, and so the things that I open the most are going to come up first on quick access. Then you're going to have all of the folders that you might have, and then these are going to be all of the files that you have either downloaded or you have created. Over here is going to be some navigation for you. So if somebody has shared folders or shared documents with you, you're going to find them in the Shared With Me folder. If you have recently downloaded something or created something, it's going to be under your recent. You also can star things, which will make them be important. So I'm going to show you guys right now quickly how to kind of create some folders and get around some of the automatic organization things that Google does for you. So to create a folder, it's very easy. All you do is just go to New, and you would click on Create Folder, and then you would title your folder. Now, what Google does is they automatically do your folders in alphabetical order. So if you have a ton of folders, or if there's one folder that you access all the time that you want to have kind of up front, there's a way to get around that. So if you notice right here on my folders, I have happy little pictures and emojis, and this is a way that you can get around Google's automatic organization through alphabetical order, and that's with doing emojis. And so if I want my demo tutorials to be up closer, I can edit this. So I right click. Oops, not letting me do that there. There we go. Right click on it. You can change the color of the folder, so whatever color you want it to be, which I think is super duper fun. I'm gonna make it red. And then we can rename this, and I'll show you guys how to rename it. So we go to rename, and instead of having it just be demo tutorials, I'm going to do emojis. If you right click, it'll bring up the emoji. You can also do the window key and the period, and it'll bring up the emoji bar. Maybe. It doesn't seem to want to do it for me right now. It's not bringing up my emojis. Well, in a perfect world, it would bring up your emojis. I don't know why it's not working right now. And you would be able to put your emoji in there, and then it brings it up to the front of your drive. I'm doing this on my home computer, not my work computer, and that might be why it's not working for me right now. But if you notice, the ones that have the pictures, the emojis on them, are going to be up front, okay? When you look at your folders, you're going to see some folders have a little person on them and some don't. That's because these are folders that are shared with other people. So you can share folders with other people, and you can decide who you want to share them with and what they can do. So if I'm in my demo tutorials, if I have my demo tutorials, I just click on it and it's highlighted. This little button right here shows up, or there is a link. You can also link to it and send the folder out. But if I click on this happy little person right here, that means that I can share this folder, and I can add anybody that I want to on here. And you can also choose whether or not they can be a viewer or an editor. So when you are sharing a folder with someone, please make sure that you check whether you want them to be a viewer or an editor. If they are a viewer, all they can do is view the things in the folder. If they are an editor, they can add things to the folder, but they can also delete things and change things. So you just want to be careful what you do when you are sharing it with people. And this goes with any documents or anything that you create as well. Once you have folders, you can add things to folders. You can easily create things inside folders. And you create by going to new, and you can upload things from your computer with a file upload, or you can create new docs, sheets, or slides. You can create them just in your drive or in one of the folders itself. So now I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Google Docs and some of the cool things that Google Docs has. There's a couple different ways you can access Google Docs. You can do it through Drive. You can get an add-on for your Chrome called Google Docs Quick Create, which is really nice because when you click on it, you can choose whatever it is that you want if you're not in your Drive, or you can just go to docs.google.com. I tend to go through my Drive first, but I'm going to go through my little add-on here. So I'm going to say, let's do a new document. And when your new document pulls up, it looks a lot like Microsoft Word, but it has some really neat features to it. You want to make sure that you title your document. And the great thing about Google always is that it saves things for you automatically. So no, oops, I forgot to save and I just lost 3 days worth of work writing that 5-page paper. So I'm just going to title this test. And now it is saved, and it's automatically saved in your Drive. So when students are using this as well, it's automatically saved in their Google Drive. They can't lose it. They can't delete it, which is amazing. So this works just like a Microsoft Word does. You've got your different kinds of fonts that you can choose from: bold, italicize, highlighting. How do you want things aligned? You can do different kinds of outlines and things. But I'm going to show you a couple different features here that make things very easy. So for instance, say that I'm going to be doing a report on butterflies. And so I'm going to start here. Butterflies are really pretty. And I want to put in an image of butterflies. So I go to Insert, I go to Image. If I already have some saved on my Drive, I can upload them, but I like that you can search the web and it pulls it up right in Google Docs for you, which is nice. And so I'm going to type in butterfly and it pops it up. Ooh, that's a pretty one. We're going to select this one. You click on it and you click Insert. And then it puts it in there for you. And you can make it smaller, make it bigger. Down here is where all of your formatting options are going to be. I'm going to say, let's wrap some text here. Okay. Now, another great thing is, say you are researching or your students are researching. And instead of having them open up new tabs to do Google searches, you actually can do it straight from your Google Doc, which is amazing. So down here, you're going to see this little box with like the little star in it. And when you hover over it, it says Explore. If you click that, it's going to pull up the Explore box. And Google is pretty intuitive, where it already sees that I have an image of butterflies and it sees that my first sentence talks about butterflies. So it's already popped up a whole bunch of things about butterflies, although the first one isn't very appropriate. However, again, I'm on my home computer, not my work computer, so the filters aren't going to be the same as they are at work. And so I can go ahead and search across the web for butterflies. And the first thing that pops up, look at that, is Wikipedia. And so I can go and it'll take me straight to it. and then I can start researching things, which is pretty neat. So as I'm researching, maybe I want to I'm going to take this as a quote, and I'm going to add it. And here's what's really awesome. I put this in here. There's my quote. I took my quote from Wikipedia. Here is something that is kind of amazing from Google, but unfortunately, I think again, because I'm not in G Suite, I'm on my personal one, I can't do it. If you're in your G Suite, you should be able to quote things automatically, and it'll automatically create footnotes for you. There'll be little quotation marks up here in the corner, and you click it and it will automatically create a citation and a footnote for you down at the bottom. Okay, but you can also look at images, you can look at things that might be in your drive, and you can look at the web for things for butterflies. The other thing that you can do is you can share this document with people, and so you can have things be collaborative between students, which is great for in the virtual world. Since we can't all get together in the COVID world, they can do it online. It also is helpful for all those kids who have busy schedules and might not be able to get together all at the same time. So one thing that you can do, I want to talk to you a little bit about version histories and just editing history in general. So you can look at all the different times that Google Docs has saved things. And this can be pretty darn helpful if you're doing drafts and seeing if kids actually made changes from their first draft to their final draft. It also, if you're doing a collaborative project, is going to show you who is actually working on it and what changes that they made. And so I suggest that students or even yourself name version history. So you go to File, and you go down to Version History, and then you would say Name Current Version. And I'm going to do this as Draft 1. Okay, so this is my first draft of my document. We're good to go. I'm going to come back and I'm going to work on it tomorrow, and I need to fix things. So let's say that I want to add some things into this sentence here. Butterflies are really, I'm going to say not pretty, I'm going to say butterflies are really beautiful insects. And then I don't want this picture anymore. I want to replace it with a different picture, because I decided I don't like that picture anymore. So we'll do that one now. And then you can replace that picture there. And so now I've made some changes. And then now what you can do is you can look at version history, and it will pull up all of the versions. So you can look and you can see, here is what my first draft looked like. Here is what the current version looks like, and you can see what I've done. I changed here, and you can see that I took this out and put beautiful insects, and you also can see who made the change. And so if you have multiple people working on the document, you can see who is making changes and what changes they made, which is very, very helpful in collaborative group work. So this is kind of Google Docs in a nutshell. You also can make things available offline. So for students who may have trouble with their internet connection, they can download it offline, they can work on it offline, and then the next time that they have internet connection, it will save it. You also can download it. This easily turns things into PDFs for you. It turns things into a Microsoft Word document if you want as well, which is very, very nice. So that is my quick tutorial on Google Drive and Google Docs. I look forward to seeing you guys for the next tutorial, which is going to be about Google Forms.